Solopreneurs, the angels want you to believe in your dreams today. Do you know what it takes to fully believe in your dreams and to go for your dreams? I'm feeling called to ask you that today because there's so much more involved than just taking the actions on the outside, the physical actions to make your dream a reality. You know, anyone who has worked towards a worthy dream or goal understands that, yes, there are a whole bunch of physical tasks and actions that we must take to achieve that goal. And those things are very important because no dream can ever become a reality without them. But the part of it that isn't so obvious is the part of it that happens in our minds, and that must happen in our minds even before the actions can fully take root. That's what today's reading is going to cover for you today. If I was to choose one specific verse that would apply here, it's a Bible verse. And that is one of my absolute favorite Bible verses, and it is Romans 12:2. Do not conform, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Welcome, my beautiful solopreneurs. I am so excited to see you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being here and for showing up for yourself. By watching this reading and by reading your tarot and oracle cards, you are connecting with your own inner wisdom. And that has the power to transform every area of your life. This isn't about predicting your future. It's about helping you to navigate your life with more clarity, confidence, and trust. Today, I'm going to guide you through my K&L Co. self-leadership spread designed to help you regulate, validate, witness the deeper message unfolding, receive guidance for your next steps, and integrate that guidance into your life. If you would like a private session with me, you can sign up for that using the link in my description. I would be honored to hold that space with you. All right, let's get back into it. What is this overall energy card telling us? I know it was a little difficult to see because it's just the light. It's so bright. The image on the card itself is just very detailed and bright, but you can kind of see that there's like an angelic figure that represents your higher self. And, that is extending from this beautiful woman down here. And it says, believe in your dreams. In the distance, there's also a castle in the background. And so my immediate response to that image, as I would encourage you to do when you look at the cards, you're going to want to look at the places where your attention is drawn, right? And so my attention immediately goes to that castle in the background that seems to be the source of light. There is a castle on here, but it's difficult to see. I'll take a picture of this and post it to my posts so that you can look at it in a little more detail. But because my attention is drawn to that, I'm really getting the impression of this is about creating heaven on earth for yourself. And I truly believe that heaven is a frequency that we can experience here and now, and not something that we have to wait for, something outside of us to come and take us to, or wait until we die to experience, right? I truly believe that we experience heaven in small moments every single day. We also, on the flip side, experience hell, right? And I think that part of the human experience is learning how to incorporate more heavenly moments into our lives and reduce the number of hellish moments. And when the hellish moments present themselves, to gain the resilience to move through them with more ease and flow. And so let me read what the author of this deck intended for us to get from that card. And again, I do link the decks that I use in the description. This is the Oracle of the Angels deck by Mario Deguay. And so I love this deck because There's always an affirmation associated with every card, which I find to be extremely helpful. I use affirmations to reprogram my subconscious mind. So I will also post that with the picture of the card so that you guys can read it and meditate on it a little bit longer. So you may be encountering some obstacles and challenges which you feel are standing in the way between you and your dreams. Don't be disheartened. Your efforts will soon be rewarded. Continue to do whatever you can to move toward achieving your dreams. Even the smallest steps will make a big difference at this time. If you don't feel supported by those around you, draw on your own inner strength and do the believing for them. Acknowledge your value and fill your mind with positive thoughts about your future success. And the affirmation is, I remain confident and determined even in the face of challenges. I draw on my inner strength to help me keep focused on my dreams. I rejoice in the success that is coming to me. All right, well, let's get into the tarot and really analyze what this could be, how this could be showing up for you. So in the regulate position, this is about what is grounding you right now. And we have the Ace of Swords, okay? And the Ace of Swords is in reverse. Now, in the upright position, normally this means clarity, breakthrough, new ideas, right? Success and mental clarity, right? And so in the reverse position, that means that we're not feeling as clear and we're feeling probably confusion, right? It can also point to inner clarity, right? And so what I'm getting based on the rest of the readings in this, or the cards in this spread, is that there's a sense of confusion happening, and we just need to allow ourselves to recognize we don't have all of the answers right now, and that there is a need for us to go within and gain some inner clarity in order to know what kind of actions to take on the outside. So our judgment may be clouded a little bit at this time. So in the regulate position, we just want to recognize that, because that recognition is going, and that awareness is going to give us the power to make choices, better choices moving forward. In the validate position, this is what you are feeling that deserves to be honored. We have the Tower. Now, don't get too scared. A lot of people get afraid of the Tower, and it's a scary looking card for sure. But the Tower is simply means that there is change happening, because you're awakening to your truth, essentially. So what is no longer serving you is falling away naturally. So if you are experiencing some changes happening, and maybe you're perceiving them to be negative changes, maybe they're making you feel uncomfortable, maybe it's feeling a bit like chaos, I want to encourage you not to fight those changes, because what's happening is that negative things that are not, maybe things that had helped you in the past, are no longer serving you anymore, and they're being kind of shaken up so that you can rebuild and move forward in a stronger way, right? So just honor that you may be feeling a bit chaotic through this time, and that is okay. That doesn't mean that everything is falling apart. It actually means that things are falling together. So that's where transforming our mind, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. We need to open our minds to looking at it in that way, because if we don't, what happens is we start operating from a fear-based state, which is not, and then we'd start creating more fearful situations. So when we open our mind to see that it's that the things that are no longer serving us are falling away, they're creating space for the good to come in so that we can rebuild from a much firmer foundation. So just recognize that. Don't try to fix it. Allow it to go to a more positive place. Allow it to carry you to a more positive place, right? If this isn't working, where can we put our attention to what is working? Where can we put our mind on the solution versus the problem? In the witness position, this is what is actually happening beneath the surface. This is the Page of Swords. And when we are in the Page of Swords, it is another sword, right? So it's about our intellect and what is on our mind. But the Page of Swords represents new ideas and curiosity. So you may be receiving some new ideas based on what's not working, right? And because this is what is actually happening beneath the surface, you're having to be like this student of life again, right? You're having to learn some new things because you're in new territory. You haven't been in this area before. Maybe you're having to pivot your business in a new direction, right? So, you're learning new ways of communicating with your teams. Maybe you're learning new ways of performing your job, new ways of speaking your truth. And, you're really, you're having an open mind. Students have an open mind. They're ready to absorb the lessons that the situation has to teach them like a sponge. And this is showing up in the witness position of what is actually happening beneath the surface. I'm getting that you're able to approach this tower situation with an open mind, which is extremely advantageous. And so what is your most aligned next step? Your guidance today is to recognize the places where you're not fully in your Queen of Swords energy. So the Queen of Swords reversed is appearing here in your most aligned next step. And so what that is asking you to do is it's asking you to look at the places where you may be showing up as overly emotional, where you may be easily influenced, right? Like, where are you not standing firm in your boundaries? Maybe you're acting a bit irritated or agitated, or feeling a bit irritated and agitated, and to look. So your guidance is to look at those situations in your life, change them, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, because those are the things that are getting in the way of you believing in your dreams and bringing that dream down to reality, right? Our dreams are inevitable as long as we don't give up on them. So, we really want to look for the areas where we're doubting ourselves, where we don't have clear, unbiased judgment. And how can we change that, right? How can we flip it to the opposite, essentially, right? How can we communicate with look at the ways, where are you not communicating your boundaries clearly? And how can you begin to communicate those things clearly? So, where are you being too easily influenced, right? Especially as business owners, we need to be able to stand firm so that we can really deliver consistent customer service, right? And so if your systems are not supporting that and you're kind of all over the place, right? Your customer service is going to suffer, and your customers aren't going to have a consistent, reliable service that they know that they can come for you for, right? And so what if that looks like you don't have enough help and support? Maybe you need to hire a customer service support professional in order to help you deliver more consistent service. That could be an example of a way that you could turn your Queen of Swords energy around. And what becomes available to you when you do this, when you look at the ways where you might not be showing up fully, with your clear boundaries and your clear judgment of the situation, you're able to, we've got the 10 of coins in the reversed position. And so that is long-term legacy wealth. It is it can also, in the reversed position, it can be the downside of wealth, like not appreciating what we have. And so when you are able to, become clear, recognize the places where you need clearer judgment and where you need stronger boundaries, you're able to remedy that, right? You're able to create long-term wealth and stability in your life because you are able to fix the things that are preventing you from having that in your life, if that makes sense. Yeah, you're able to create, long-term wealth and stability based on, changing yourself from within, right? You're able to move forward and have those dreams that you're trying to achieve because you're willing to do the inner work, if that makes sense. And I pulled just one more card for clarity on that. And what came out was the Death card reversed, which symbolizes a personal transformation, right? It's about, you remove the areas where you're resistant to change, essentially. And you experience a personal transformation, and then you're able to move forward and, continue to level up. So that is the guidance that I have for you today. I am sending you so much love. Remember, in order to get even more out of your readings, I have a free guide for you. It is the Signature K&L Co guide to asking powerful questions. So that is available to you in the link in the description. Until next time, I am sending you so much love.